This week on Sister Wives, Janelle's meeting gets hijacked by Robin, who tells everybody how hard this divorce is on her. Kody visits Janelle and Savannah in their new teeny tiny apartment. We get to see a quick glimpse of Christine looking happy and light. Kody puts another log on the fire, determined to destroy everything that he's ever said he wanted. Hello and welcome to Reality Recapped, where I recap all of the trashiest reality shows. If you're new here, my name is Heather. I have a degree in psychology, and it's through that lens that I watch these shows and make my comments. Of course, I have not met with anybody on the show, so everything that I state is simply an opinion. This channel is a little bit of education and a whole lot of snark. Everyone meets at Mary's house so Janelle can share her architectural drawings, and hopefully they can move forward with this whole Coyote Pass thing. Mary tells us this is the first time the family has gotten together since Christine told them she's moving, and it's been over 2 months since they've all seen one another, which feels weird to Mary, which feels weird to us because, Mary, haven't you been kind of isolated this whole time, even though you were obeying all these COVID rules? Kody reminds us that he had COVID and that his wasn't just like a 3-day COVID, his was worse.
You don't know what I went through.
He claims to be joking here, but some people have lost their family members and loved ones, and it would be nice if he could be less tone deaf and more sensitive about that.
I'm ready to go. I have planned. When I ask Kody about paying off the land, he'll say, I don't want you to ask me again, but then I'm just going to keep asking. This is my estate.
Good for you, Janelle. Keep working at it. And let's keep in mind that Janelle has established this meeting to talk about these plans. But Robin has decided what this meeting is going to be about, and she hijacks it.
It's so weird because we really haven't talked, the four of us. since.
With Christine leaving, you guys want to talk about it?
I think it's telling that Robin says she wanted to talk, but did Robin create a meeting? No, she waited until somebody else created a meeting and then hijacked it. Anyone else suspect that the three of them, Kody, Mary, and Robin, decided they were going to have this conversation? Because it feels a little bit like an act out.
We can talk about it. You're acting weird about it, Mary.
I am?
What I see happening here is a narcissist trying to get somebody to speak out on his side. He's trying to elicit a response from Mary, who he doesn't care about and he never sees. But he will pay attention to her when she's doing his bidding, so to speak.
Do you have something you want to say? I mean, it's totally cool.
He's acting like it's a real light, jokey thing. This is not light and this is not jokey. He's asking Mary to show her side, and he's kind of directing her to talk crap about Christine and make that the focus. Mary looks confused. I don't think she is. I think she knows what Kody wants. I don't think she wants to do it for him. I think she's weighing in the fact that she's been ignored for all these years, and he's using her as a pawn, bringing her into this argument. So when he needs her, he'll bring her in. Otherwise, she's just like something that goes on a shelf until he sees use for her.
Some of the things that he's frustrated about with Christine, he did to me.
Ooh, is Mary defecting finally? Don't forget, Mary.
If you're not with me, you're against me. F off.
Spoken like a narcissist whose mask has completely slipped off.
There's a big lack of communication in our family. We have been sweeping so much under the rug.
Janelle's expression is just like, oh man, of course this got hijacked by Robin, who is the ultimate victim and wants to talk about things. The thing that's challenging about this is she says she wants to talk everything out. She wants to clear the air and blah, blah, blah. But she's very distorted in what's actually going on. So you're never going to get anywhere with somebody like this. They're not looking for resolution. They're looking to wear you down. And Kody kind of proves that point.
Robin's the only good communicator in this whole family. The term they use for Robin is called circling the donkey. The donkey just goes around and round and around and around. Robin gets to the bottom of the problem.
What it sounds like to me is Robin wears people down by constantly talking, and it exhausts people, and so they just relent.
I don't know what there is related to Scott. I don't want a Christine bashing fest.
Look at what was revealed, and we need to work on it, or we're just gonna sort of disappear as a family.
Who cares?
Clearly not you.
Are we going to be a pod here? Just gonna
Move on and have a happy life without Kody? Yes.
Christine leaving, this put me in a very dark spot.
I want to point out there are no tears and her eyes are not red. Robin continues to make Christine leaving mostly about her.
Kody has told me stories Robin would share with him about things Christine did, trying to get me on the side of realizing that Christine was this horrible sister wife or whatever. That's been going on for years. So I don't know why all of a sudden it's a shock that she should leave.
You know, I don't know what conversations Janelle and Kody are having, but I learned a long time ago
venting to Kody about my frustrations with my sister wives actually harmed my relationship with him. So I just don't do it.
I don't buy that for a second. I think she is so in Cody's ear, he doesn't even recognize it's not his own thought.
I don't know how to fix what's going on, but they're not trying to fix it either.
Spoken like a true leader, right?
We didn't want to be what I was pushing us to be all that time.
I wanted to be it, Kody. No, you don't get to say that to me.
I don't think it's fair for you to say what everybody thinks or feels.
It's easy to miss this, but the reason why Kody is going back to why it failed is because he can't accept any responsibility for why it failed. So he starts to move into it's because it's polygamy and they didn't really want polygamy. They said they wanted polygamy, but they didn't want polygamy, and that's why it failed. It's not because of anything that he did or in any inadequacy in him.
People are just tired of trying and they don't want to work it out, then I need to know.
Robin always says that she's never in charge and that it's Kody who's deciding all these things. But look who's directing the meeting, asking all the questions, and look who hijacked it from Janelle. Janelle's like, I've got my plans, and Robin's like, great, we're going to talk about whether you all are still committed or not.
Robin, I think that you and I have had enough conversations about this that you know exactly where I am, and I am still here because I'm still trying.
Mary's trying to support. I don't want to be in a relationship with her.
We've all seen how Robin has talked to Mary about the relationship with Kody and how she's constantly encouraging Mary to stay, even though it's clear Kody has no interest in a relationship with her. And I think it's one of the meaner things that you can do to somebody. Clearly Mary is not happy. Clearly Kody has no interest in her. But Robin, for whatever reason, has decided she's got to keep her around. I'm assuming it's financial, but I don't know that for sure. So now that Mary has answered, Robin moves on to Janelle.
Janelle, I gotta hear from you.
I do, to be honest with you, I really don't know. It feels like I'm being forced to choose between my children and this group. I don't feel like my children are welcome.
When have they not felt welcome? I really don't know what's going on. I'm trying to catch up here, and I really want to understand because I feel like this is something we can get fixed.
I think she's pretending possibly that she's never heard this before because Cody's a blabbermouth and he can't keep anything secret. This whole confused thing is something that happens a lot, and I don't know. I don't know if it's for real or if she's just pretending that she's never heard anything before, but Kody leaks like a sieve, so I don't.
I think Janelle is able to separate her emotions from what's happening, and I think that gives her an advantage in this situation. I think she's able to see things clearer than maybe people that are more emotional because you're responding and reacting to what they're saying rather than having kind of like a third person overview of what's happening. And in that way, you can see patterns and things. And I say this as a person who's more on the emotional side. I think I would have a harder time deciphering this if I was actually in this situation. I think Janelle is like 20 feet ahead of everybody else, though.
Cody's basically told me they can't come for Christmas unless they do a big apology. Garrison and Gabriel are not the only children who have problems.
Do you say there's more than just Gabe and Garrison?
There's a general disgruntlement among my kids.
I think this is an indicator that Janelle and her children are talking about me behind my back because nobody's confronting me with it. There's been a bit of a civil war, the whole family in a way. And I'm looking at Janelle wondering whose side she's on.
So he just unintentionally validated what Janelle had just said, that she feels like she has to pick sides. She either has to pick her kids or she has to pick this group. I think this meeting is really giving us kind of an inside look at how Robin can kind of manipulate Kody's responses. I'm going to play a clip of how she does this and we can watch together how she manipulates from behind.
Are you saying Garrison and Gabe can't be around, period? Or are you looking for like real resolution where there's conversation on both sides?
Well, I think we need resolution.
Right.
What the I don't even recognize this family or whatever. I don't know. Something has really changed for me.
I want us to work this out.
There's a strong pull to just run away and do the easy thing.
I don't want you to do that.
Because I have two worlds pulling now, you know?
There should be one. There should be one. It's hard to be a plural wife when your husband has a wife leaving him. I've told him several times I feel like he's lining up all women and I'm there too. And you're there and you're there. And he's shooting us all down because Christine is a woman and he's angry and he's hurt.
Robin has mentioned before how hard it's been to live with Kody through everything and how angry he's been and how temperamental he's been. And I think this is part of the reason why I think they're going to try to find new wives. And I don't think it's Kody that wants it. I think it's going to be Robin that wants it. Why? She's going to benefit from financial streams of income like she has been in the past. And she's going to benefit from Kody having other places to go. Plus, when you first fall in love, you feel great. So she might get a little bit of like a easier to live with Kody version than what she currently has. I don't think Kody really wants to do polygamy, but he's so easily manipulated by her, and I think she could do a good job of convincing him why this is good for them, i.e. her, and why this should happen. And if I think anyone can get Kody to do anything, it is Robin.
I think women bear a very different burden in plural marriage than men do. And I've seen men leave plural marriage feeling like, 5, 6 wives, never feeling like they had been loved. It's not for men. I mean, there's a different burden that I don't want to sit here and mansplain to you.
Oh, good. I'm happy that you're not going to mansplain to us. We probably wouldn't understand anyway. It's so hard for us to even follow what you're saying half the time because you are so much smarter than all of us dumb women. You frickin' jerk.
All right, well, I gotta go get Savannah.
I'd like
I guess
to
we
see
can
your
see your
house
plans
plan
another
sometime.
time.
I'll show you really fast. Savannah can wait for just a few minutes. I told her I was gonna be a little late, but...
Finally, Janelle is able to show her plans. This is the whole reason that the meeting was created and what they were supposed to be talking about this whole time. So she shows them quickly. Kody is like barking at Mary and telling her to like get around the table and look from another vantage point. Like, shut up, dude. Take care of yourself in the manosphere that you live in. Janelle's moved into a small apartment. Kody guesses she moved when he had COVID. He doesn't even know.
Well, I'm going over to her place to check out her new apartment for the first time.
Very small apartment for us. We've moved in and now I'm trying to figure out how to make everything fit. It is more room than the RV, so it's really chaotic.
Gonna give me a hug? You gonna sit there and look at me?
I want to quickly point out that Kody has a habit of doing this, of telling his kids how they should greet him. Of course, this is inconsistent with how he greets them. Sometimes he walks up and he totally ignores the kid, doesn't even say anything to them.
Hopefully now that we are moved into an easier place to live, a better place to live in my opinion, that he'll start coming over a lot more often.
Oh yeah, the space just isn't big enough right here. Okay, for me, the lamps are too low for my reading. When they're on a nightstand, I need a higher nightstand for a lamp. I wonder.
Do you want to just bring it over then?
Yeah, I'd be tempted to bring it over, but
You have a plug right there.
I knew it wouldn't meet his preferred standards.
I feel very sad for Savannah, who believes her dad when he says, like, he just didn't want to stay in the RV. And now they've moved into an apartment and there's more space. And he's already creating arguments and reasons as to why he's not going to be able to stay there either. I feel bad for the heartbreak that's coming to her when she sees that his behavior isn't going to change, even when the living conditions improve.
We can move this.
Yeah, I just can't.
We see Christine at her new place, and instantly when she comes on the screen, my mood lifts. And she looks so happy, and I'm so happy for her. I'm really excited to see the next season and kind of follow her journey and what's going on. It feels like what's happening is they're creating kind of like a storyline with Robin in terms of like how hurt Robin is that her kids aren't going to have a relationship with Christine, which is bonkers crazy. I don't think Robin really wants that, and I don't think it's Christine's responsibility to take care of Robin's kids or to work on a relationship with Robin and her kids. I don't think she's going to ever be mean to anybody. It's just not in her, but she's also like, she didn't have a relationship with them when she was married to their father, so why would she have a relationship with them now? That doesn't make any sense. I wonder if it's a plot point for the following season, and I'm not here for it. I don't feel like she should be burdened and tied into this whole Robin narrative of like, oh, I just want us all to be together while I steal money from everybody else. And the next surprise, people are upset about it. Now we're going into a second meeting and they're discussing the holidays and what's going to happen during the holidays.
Well, I mean, okay, so Thanksgiving's a week from today. And I am actually going to North Carolina.
What are you doing for Christmas?
I'm here. But
Okay.
my kids They're renting an Airbnb because I don't think they're welcome, right?
I never said my kids weren't welcome.
If they apologize and they're kind of
No. I completely reversed that. I said, all we've got to do is be able to have a conversation so we're not sitting here in our house like a bunch of alcoholics that had a fight last night and forgot it happened.
That's true. We all did see Robin change your mind right in front of our very own eyes.
I'm not being stubborn here. All I want to do is talk to him.
So if this is true and Kody just wants to talk to his kids and he doesn't need an apology and he's not being stubborn, why hasn't he called them? Why isn't he communicating directly with his kids? Why is he using Janelle as the telephone line? This is just yet another example of Kody's behavior not matching his words.
I think sometimes that Janelle has pit me against the boys.
Again, shifting the blame. Of course, he's not responsible for the negative relationship he has with his own kids. If you were speaking directly to them, you wouldn't have Janelle in the middle and you could eliminate that, but he doesn't do that. He knows he's the core of the problem, but he's never going to admit it.
Man, I'm having the hardest, not just feeling like she's just betraying me.
After Christmas, Christine said that Isabel and everybody are coming home and they want to come see the family here.
Oh man, this is exactly what I was afraid of with Christine leaving.
That we had a vacation rental, so we extended it so Christine and her kids could come so they can see, the Truly and Isabel can see you.
Am I the only one that sees this as some kind of betrayal?
I'm happy no one's saying anything, but I think Mary pipes up later.
Christine just left.
You don't want her to bring the kids to see you?
Oh, I'd like to see the kids, but you're talking about everybody going to some neutral zone? This is my house.
Okay, so let's go into the subtext here, because I think what he means, but what he's not saying, is that if it's at my house, I'm the one in control. I'm the one who sets what people have to do and how they have to behave toward me. If I'm expected to go to a neutral space, then we're more on equal footing. And he also knows that he's going to be severely outnumbered. People are more on Christine and Janelle's side than they are on his and Robin's and maybe Mary's side. And I think thinking of all these young boys who are now grown men who are going to come back and challenge him, I think scares the heck out of him.
You guys are going to have to weigh in on this. I'm not going to shoulder this whole damn thing.
What do you want us to comment on?
I mean, have an opinion here. This is bugging the hell out of me. Am I wrong?
We had this conversation a little bit, and I thought that it was a little bit more clear when we were at my house a couple of weeks ago. I thought that he had made it clear that it wasn't, well, you just have to apologize and that we're good.
I have two thoughts on this. I agree that what Kody said, because Robin manipulated him into saying it, was that he didn't need an apology. He just wanted to clear the air. And we all saw Robin create that, right? So now Mary is stepping up and backing Kody up and saying what she saw. I agree with her. It's unfortunate that she's speaking up on his behalf when he is not loyal to her, doesn't show her any respect, throws her under the bus any chance he gets. The second point that I want to make is that if this is true, let's say Kody really does agree that his kids do not have to come to him and to apologize. Why hasn't he reached out and spoken to his kids and tried to clear the air? Because what he's saying in front of the camera is not what's really going on. It's not the truth. He's still where he's at. He still thinks his kids are supposed to reach out to him because somehow he's on a higher tier than they are. And the frustrating thing for him is that this Christmas is going to be in this neutral territory where he doesn't feel like he's as in control. If people come to his house, he gets to set all these rules. You have to do this. You have to apologize to Robin. You have to come in. You have to bring mashed potatoes with extra butter, whatever his parameters are for them coming. He gets to make this list, these rules, right? And he gets to be the one who's deciding whether people are being good enough to be there or not. But in a neutral territory, it's an even playing field, right? And so he doesn't get to stipulate to everybody else what's going to happen. It's very controlling.
That was the information I was working with. And this
Please
is the year.
do not communicate to my children for me because you and I struggle enough to communicate. I'm afraid that message will get mixed.
What was I supposed to say?
Call Dad.
Right, because it's Janelle's responsibility to take care of the relationship you have with your grown children, Why don't you call them, Kody?
There's going to be no conversation. Kody still wants to hear the same thing from them. At the end of the day, Kody still wants them to show respect and apologize, especially to this person in the family who's done all these amazing emotional things for us and has just been hurt, aka Robin.
The rules till 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
We've been talking about that for so long
You did not
before.
give me those rules till 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So from March until Thanksgiving, I had no rules.
Those were
No, you didn't. You did too. That's not true. On me.
No.
And then when I finally get sick from COVID, that was a death-like experience. I cannot believe that I have done all this to save you, to save Truly, to save my children. I did not know that it wouldn't harm them.
Let's just keep talking, even if it's intense.
Yeah, Janelle, just absorb this narcissistic rage and just act like everything's fine. And no worries, we'll definitely work everything out.
Only what? What was it, 3 weeks ago?
This is the same old, same old. I was following all the CDC guidelines.
Cody's acting like I was a COVID denier. I was not a COVID denier. I followed all the CDC rules. I wore a mask. I washed my hands. I was careful. I'm vaccinated, for crying out loud.
I wonder if Janelle is insinuating that Kody did not get vaccinated here. Maybe that's what she's saying. I'm not sure, though.
I don't have to stand here and defend myself. This is the same old argument. I don't need to be beaten into submission, made to kowtow. I'm just not. I just don't need this. In the last 18 months, I've realized that I'm pretty good. I'm independent. And I'm not going to stand here and be yelled at. I just don't need it. I don't deserve it. I don't need it.
Well, you know what? The running from our problem is just going to keep us standing at that bridge with the torch, Janelle. We got to figure this out. And I'm sorry I'm angry.
So he recognizes that he pushed her too far. She's about to leave and he wants her to stay. So he apologizes and then he goes right back into the argument again.
I just survived a really, really dark place.
That.
You don't give a though. Look at you, dismissing it. You're in pain. I try to understand you.
Kody, can we please keep talking, Janelle, please?
A lot of what Robin has done has been frustrating and irritating. But this in particular really upsets me because what she's trying to do is what she's done to Mary, which is like just accept the abuse, just go ahead and sit down as if we're actively working on a problem right now. No, Kody is in a narcissistic rage and he's unleashing on Janelle and he's punishing her for not being on his side the whole time. This is not a constructive argument. This is him badgering her, and it's perfectly acceptable for Janelle to leave. It's interesting that Robin isn't focusing on the fact that Kody is yelling at somebody and asking him to calm down. Instead, she's focusing on the fact that Janelle is leaving and walking away.
Doing is yelling at me.
So if he stops yelling, can we keep talking, please?
I have a few more minutes. Apologize to everybody because they had been so abusive. And so...
No, it's just me and Robin.
Whoa. Yeah. No, why is he talking about me? He doesn't need to be talking about me. I don't know why he's bringing up my name.
I don't believe Robin. I think she definitely put Kody up to this. But as Janelle said earlier, Kody can't keep anything to himself. He's a blabbermouth. So I'm sure Robin asked him to do this in private, expecting Kody to not tell everybody that that's what she told him to do. The conversation kind of devolves into like Kody saying he has daddy issues. Maybe he passed it on to his kids. He wished that the kids were as loyal to him and they're probably feeling the same way about him. So there seems to be slight introspection there, but not very much. He makes an inane argument about chess and tries to mansplain to the women why many queens don't work if they're all attacking one another. Hey, how about if you're giving preferential treatment to one of those queens? Inevitably, they're going to argue because they're going to see that. And that's really the problem. It's you. You're the core of it. And it comes back to like, well, maybe if we had moved to Utah, then we'd all still be together. And then he says about polygamy.
Really questioning whether it's a good idea or if it works or not.
Again, his ego can't handle being wrong. And so he is going to blame the demise of his marriage on whatever is convenient. In this case, he's going to blame it on polygamy.
So this is going to be one of those things where you guys are going to have to work it out with a counselor or something. Because I can't be in the middle of it anymore because it's wrecking us.
They get to pick and choose who they hang out with, but I don't. It's weird to me.
As if he hasn't been picking and choosing who he's been hanging out with this past 18 months. We hear on the preview an announcement that we've all been waiting for.
Kody and I have separated.
I'm definitely looking forward to these tell-alls, and I'm also really interested in seeing next season. I can't wait. Hopefully they don't wait as long. I hope it's like not a year until they start the new season. It'd be nice if they were closer together. But I think we're going to get to see like a more realistic version of what was actually happening behind the scenes and unpacking. And I think that they both, Christine and Janelle, made a really good choice. And I wonder, I noticed that Mary sat next to Janelle and Christine at Logan's wedding. And Robin and Kody sat on the opposite side of the aisle. So I'm very curious to see if Mary also left. That's it for this week, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it makes a huge difference on my end. Have a wonderful week. Until next time.